All right. Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. How is everyone doing? Hello, Janice. How are you doing? I don't know. I'm feeling all right today. I don't know. It's been very strange. I had a couple days where I was like, all right, I'm feeling much better. And I don't know if I just overdid it those couple of days or what happened, but I kind of had a couple days where I was feeling much better, and now the last couple days, kind of crummy again. But I feel all right today. Feel better than I did yesterday, so that's all that matters. I feel better than I did yesterday. So, all right, today we're going to go over blown pores, Dutch pores. I'm going to show how I do my just simple blown bloom. It's much different than like the Shelly bloom. I'm not, that's on a whole nother level. I'm just my simple little bloom. And I'm going to show you a whole bunch of Dutch pores and blown pores with the world's smallest leaf blower, with my hair dryer, using blowing paint with aquarium tubing, and it's of course all the paint is mixed up with Floetrol, and so I have 1 part paint to 4 parts Floetrol, and then quite a bit of water today. So for a Dutch pour or a blown pour, you actually want to go a little bit on the thinner side. I don't know if you can see it with white. Let me grab. You might be able to see a little bit better with, let's see, this is kind of a blue. It's quite a bit thinner. So it's, so for like one of these are a large cup. Let me see if I have the exact ounces. Sometimes they'll say on the bottom. I think it's a 16-ounce cup. It doesn't say on this one, but these are very large, bigger cups. So I have put probably like a quarter of a cup of water into each one, where normally I'd put like half a teaspoon or a teaspoon at most. So they're quite a bit more thinned out. So this first one is a 12 by 12 inch canvas. I'm going to first put down a bunch of white down for a background. This first one, we're going to do a blown pour with the mini blower. Oh yeah, thank you so much. Yes, I'm hoping I get all the way better very soon. I had a primary care physician appointment to go over a few of the things and go over my blood work and a few of the things that came up, because I have a clotting disorder, and so the platelets were quite high, so we need to discuss what is going to be the plan for that. And so, but they rescheduled me, so that kind of sucks. So hoping to get in to see the doctor, with soon. So just trying to wait until then, but still taking the antibiotics for now. Finishing those off. So hopefully they'll help. So yeah, but, so here we've got white for our background, and then I'm going to use, I've got some paint. So all my paint is pretty thin down for these. You want it quite a bit thinner. So, so I hope everyone, did you have a chance to see my video yesterday? That was quite fun. So that video was where I sent Mike to the Dollar Tree. So I gave him $10 and the instructions just to get me things like tools to pour with. Just whatever kind of tools to do some new, different techniques, tools to pour with. That's all I asked him to do. And so he went and got me all kinds of things. I poured with a dog bone. I poured with a baby bottle, all kinds of stuff. And a few were kind of, I would say, fails. They didn't turn out the best, but I still left those in the video. And then a few of them turned out really pretty. The dog bone was surprisingly super pretty. pour. And I want to use that a little bit more. So what we have here is apple barrel Tuscan Teal. So we're going to do with the mini leaf blower, we're going to do like kind of an off like this way, and then like so that's where we're going to go with that. So that does have silicone in it. Then this is Deco Arts Cascade. It's a little bit lighter too. Probably getting way more paint than I really need there. This one is Sea Glass. I believe it's Folk Art. Craft Smart Plum. Now, Craft Smart Plum, we're only going to put we're not going to put that one everywhere. All right. Now we're going to take, yes, so important to have fun with it all. For sure. That is the whole point. For sure. Awesome. I'm so glad you loved it. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, he was kind of, a couple of the things that he got were really like definite obvious things to pour with. And then a few of them were a little bit more, a little bit harder. So I liked there was a good range of things to pour with. So, all right, I don't know if you have headphones on. This isn't too loud. When we get to the hair dryer, it's a little bit louder. But this is great. This is there's one of these on Amazon is where I got this. They hook up into the USB port, and they are great for like I would say about 14 inches and smaller. For larger pours, they're not so you can kind of get some detailed stuff in there, but they really won't move a ton of paint for like super larger pours. But smaller pours, they move great. So in just a moment, I'm going to explain the difference of what I understand as the difference between a blown pour and a Dutch pour. There's actually kind of a difference. Now, a Dutch pour is by Rinska Duna. She's the one that kind of developed that technique, and she actually mixes all of her paint just with water in it. She has amazing results. But okay, so this is just a blown pour. This isn't technically what I would call a Dutch pour. So I'll explain the difference on the next canvases of the actual difference between the two. But right now I'm going to use this. It might get a little loud, so I'm not sure if you'll need to turn it down a tiny bit. But I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in it kind of at about 45-degree angle, and you're going to see me just go this way and then this way, and kind of feathered a little, and this way. So watch the kind of the movements, the angles. Those are the type of things for a Dutch pour, and much thinner paint. So, all right, we're going to go at it. All right, so we have a ton of paint right in here. So I'm going to show you in just a second what you can do for that. I'm going to reach across here actually to show you. I grab this. Okay, so we have a ton of paint right there. Way too much paint. So what I have is these little pipettes. You could just leave it really. It's not a huge deal. But I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of that off. And then I'm going to go ahead and torch it, because with a blown pour or a Dutch pour, you're going to create a lot of just sucking up a little bit of that excess paint. No worries. So I'm going to go ahead and torch it. Hey, Mr. Doughboy, how are you doing? I've seen you've been going live quite a bit more. I haven't really chatted, but I've popped in and I was listening a little bit. You went live. So, okay, what I want to do is a lot of times I'll go in then with like this guy with a little bit of detail. So I'm going to go ahead and put like just a little bit of drops right where I said I had too much paint, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and with this, it's an aquarium tubing. So you can use a straw, you can use just your mouth. You can use, so I'm going to go ahead and just fix up a couple areas that I would like to. But the that darker teal has the silicone. I like the aquarium tubing to blow with because I can control it and it's reusable over and over and over and over again. Just kind of blowing around some white, kind of a little bit of busy areas, getting a little bit of that plum, and then also a little bit of the white where it was a little bit busy with too much turquoise or teal, really. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up just a little bit more of this turquoise here. So all I'm doing is just, and then squeezing that excess and then going in and just sucking it up. But that's just, you don't have to do that. You don't have to have those. You don't have to do that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and blow out this edge just a tiny bit. So that's just with the mini leaf blower. Now you can do it with hair dryer. You can do it just with the straw the whole time. So much. So quite busy though. I honestly have a little bit too much paint on here. I really like how some of these cells are. Those are beautiful. Now what I could do is add a little bit of white and blow a little bit of white around and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and just set this one aside, pass this one off to Mike. And then, thank you. So I'm going to show you now. So what I have now is two 10 by 10 inch canvases. So we're going to do a side by side. We're going to go this way with them. So we're going to do a side by side of these two 10 inch canvases. So what we're going to do is what I consider, and I mean, I may be wrong. Rinska Duna, she's the one that so Rinska, Rinske, Duna is her name, Douna. She has a channel here on YouTube and she's on Instagram and she has an amazing course on fluid acrylics. She developed the Dutch pour. She's from Denmark, so that's why we call it the Dutch pour. So the Dutch pour and the blown pour are there's kind of a difference. And I'm going to show you the difference here. So we're going to do white again. And we're going to do a variety of blues for the, here in just a second. So we're just going to get white down, our background of white. Remember, we've got this paint today a little bit thinner so we can blow it around a little bit easier. So the difference between just a Dutch pour, was my palette knife on that one? Grabbing another palette knife. All right, we got another palette knife. We're good. Okay, so when you do a blown pour, you just can, okay, so let me take that back. When you do a Dutch pour, you're going to put a background down, a base down, And for both the blown pour and the Dutch pour, you're going to put a base down, same consistency as your paint that you're going to blow around your colors or whatever. And you have to do white. We're going to do a few with black background. We're going to do a few with gray, with blue. We're going to do a few different ones today. But with a Dutch pour, what the difference is you lay a little bit of your background color down right by when you're going to blow, and you kind of blow that over your colors, a little bit of your blood. So in this case, we're using white as our background color. You blow a little bit of that white up over your colors, and then you blow your colors out. So I'm going to show you kind of the difference. And this is just how I understand it. Now, I may be completely wrong, but I've noticed the true Dutch pour that Renske Duna does, she puts a little bit of white, a little bit of her background color, whatever it is, it's white in this case, up over her colors. And I'll show you what I mean, example here in just a minute. Okay, so these we're going to do again with the mini leaf blower because they're 10 by 10 inch. They're pretty small. So this one we're going to do just some blues and turquoise. So this one over here is going to be our blown one. This is going to be our Dutch one. So I'll show you what I think is the difference. I mean, I'm not being completely, So we're going to put a little bit of this cobalt blue. Oh, and there's a hair, cat hair. We're going to put a little bit of that cobalt blue on both of them. This is so that one was Apple Barrel cobalt blue. This is Cheap Paints cobalt blue. Trying to not get too much. It's one of the things too, it's easy to get too much paint when you're pouring it out like that. So anyways, here's our turquoise, Cheap Paint brand turquoise, CHEEP. So we're just going to do blue and turquoise for this. That's it. All right, so for this one over here, we're just going to blow it out like as it is. So what the difference is, so a blown pour, blown just like that. A Dutch pour, you're going to put a layer of the background color alongside your color, each side. And I'm going to blow it kind of up over that first. So I'm going to use my handy dandy aquarium tubing to blow white up over. And that's not really. Okay, so the aquarium tubing was not moving it like I wanted to, so I had to get this out. So the difference between a Dutch pour and just a blown pour, from what I understand it, is you got to get that white or whatever your background color up over your color, and you're going to see a little bit softer here in just a second. Now at this point, they're blown the same. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one first. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and torch it because it does have quite a few air bubbles. And this is just a chef's torch or a creme brulee torch. So you get a little bit of a kind of softer look because you've blown that white up over it. And now I'm going to go ahead and blow around just, so that's a Dutch pour. This is a blown pour. You get a lot more white lacing over the top and a little bit softer look. It's really beautiful. And it doesn't have to be a white base. Next, we'll show a couple different color bases. And see, I can see I have a little bit of a chunk of, so I'm going to take white and just kind of go over that. All right, so not too big of a difference, but you can kind of tell a little bit of a difference when I have put the paint down. This would be a blown one because I did not put any. This one I put the white on each side and blew that white just kind of up over the top and then blew it out. So that's kind of the difference of what I kind of have understood to be the difference of a blown pour and a Dutch pour. It just totally depends on what you're going for, the look you're going for. Yes, this is a little bit more softer. I like the white kind of feathering over it. This honestly, again, a little bit too much paint for these smaller canvases. A Dutch pour or blown pour is a really good technique for like larger canvases, but they can be done on these smaller canvases. But they look the best with a little bit of negative space. And when I say negative space, I mean, so our white, our background, a little bit of that white popping up through negative space. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and I would like to just blow out the edge here. And this is, you can be totally done. I just kind of prefer to kind of blow out just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and hand these off to our wonderful assistant, Mike, but some great cells right up in there. What these will be great to do is, can you hand me one of those mermaids? And I was going to show what I was going to do here. So these are going to be great backgrounds. I'm going to glitter these up, or I thought about doing them with some color shift and kind of putting them in there. These are going to be kind of backgrounds for these mermaids I got. I think I got 10 of them or something. So that's what that's going to do. I think she'll look great kind of looking like she's coming out of there. So thank you. Thank you. I got a little bit of paint on the bottom of this one. So, all right, now let's do a smaller one. Novella, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. All right, so we have a 6 by 6 inch, just small kind of gallery wrapped canvas. I love these thick gallery wrapped canvases. They're awesome. So, okay, now we are going to do, we're going to go ahead and do one with a little bit of a black background. So again, this paint is quite thin compared to what we would normally do. So I'm just going to spread it around just with this palette knife. All my paint is mixed up just the same. It's mixed with Floetrol. Okay. So now this one, I'm going to go ahead and just try to get it to kind of go down the sides a little bit, and I'll help it along, make sure all the sides are covered. Always make sure all your sides are covered when it's wet, much easier to get to and do. All right, let me wipe that off. Black is a mess to use. Thank you guys, thank you. Yes, I think that'll be cute. So, all right, so this one, we're going to use the aquarium tubing to do. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of, this is Master's Touch Phthalo Green, I believe, or Phthalo Turquoise, I believe. And a little bit of that Cobalt Blue. Now this is a smaller canvas. We do not need a ton of paint, very little paint actually. So I'm just getting my popsicle stick and letting it kind of just, that's all I'm getting for this. And I'm not going to use anything. I'm just going to use my aquarium tubing, or you could use a straw, or you could use just your mouth to blow it, get down there and blow it. So, all right, that's probably pretty good, just those colors. So I just have like 18-inch aquarium tubing. So notice I'm going to be pretty, excuse me, just a sec. Oh my gosh, just totally lost, like, couldn't talk from it. I'm gonna get a quick drink. All right. Gotta stay hydrated. Quick little drink of water and we're good to go. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow through my aquarium tubing. Now, depending, you could get some condensation. Always pay attention if you're getting condensation. And all I do is I either just kind of wipe it against my shirt or a rag or anything, because you don't want it to drip, you know, if you've got real kind of condensation in your breath. So, all right. Now I'm going to go ahead and we need it like pretty much parallel, just a little slightly above parallel of the canvas. And you're just going to feather it. Then I'm going to go back the other way and do it. So, and I might need to take a break, because always be careful, because it takes a minute to blow this out. Okay, it's going to take a little breath, but love how that pops on that black background. All right. Then again, going to go ahead and give it a little torch. Now there is silicone in my paint. There is like each of these large cups, quite a bit of paint. Each of these large cups only have like 1 drop of silicone. Less is more. You don't want too much. But each one has 1 drop. So that's where we're getting what we call our cells. And it's from the Spot On treadmill oil. That's what I have in it. Hey, Monica, how are you doing? Great to see you. I've also seen that you've been live lately. I come in and I check out and everything, but I usually don't say anything. I just see who's all in there and see what y'all are talking about. Always, it looks like a great time in your channel. Everybody always looks like they're having lots of fun, but I shouldn't say hi next time. So, all right, we're just doing like blown pours, Dutch pours. So this is on a black background, a little 6 by 6 inch canvas, but that really pops on that black. So I wanted to show that you can use different color backgrounds, everything. So I'm going to set that one aside. Excuse my reach. We're going to do another 6 by 6 inch canvas, but we're going to do what I call my blown flowers. Now, this is a bloom, what I'd call a bloom. This is nothing like the Shelley bloom technique. Now, the Shelley bloom technique, they've got a lot of additives in it, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful cells. I have been working on that. We will have videos coming up on that, but this is totally different. I don't want that to be confused with this. Yes, always silliness on your lives. A little crazy sometimes. Yes, definitely. Oh, okay. So Janice and Monica, do you know each other? Awesome. Awesome. Good to know. I didn't. Monica seems to know everybody. It always surprises me who all Monica knows. So, all right, we have Apple Barrel China Blue. This is a beautiful, real light blue from the Apple Barrel brand. But I believe that has actually been discontinued. That color has been discontinued. I have not been able to find it. So I'm actually about out, and then that'll be it. But it's just a real light blue, similar to Craft Smart's Robin's Egg Blue. That's kind of the closest substitute I have found. A little bit, the Robin's Egg Blue has maybe a little shade of green to it. This doesn't have that same shade of green, kind of little slight bit of green that the Robin's Egg Blue does. It's just a very blue, very light, subtle. I use just a variety of brands. So, all right, we have our blue down. Now I'm going to blow it out just a little bit. Oh, I didn't catch last night's live stream. So you had a little bit of added music. Awesome. That's good. So, all right, what we're going to do is this. We've got quite a few bubbles. And a lot of that is to do with, I mixed this paint maybe an hour ago. If you mix your paint like a whole day ahead or mix your paint ahead of time, you won't have quite so much bubbles like I just had. So, okay, we've got the Craft Smart Plum. We're going to put just a tad of this bright magenta and a tad of this cadmium yellow, kind of the center of our bloom. Now, these are just mixed. There's no additives. This is just my kind of bloom. This isn't to be confused with like the Shelley bloom technique. That's gorgeous, but that's a whole nother, this is just a simple bloom with the regular old ingredients. Floetrol paint, silicone, a little bit of water. Yeah, that really pretty blue. Oh, glacial blue. What brand is that? So, okay, we've got our aquarium tubing, and you can do this with, again, the straw, the mouth, anything. But I just prefer the aquarium tubing because you can kind of control it. So we're going to feather back and forth, kind of similar to making little petals. So I'm going to kind of skip a little area, come back and make a petal kind of overlapping. Take a little breather and do the last one. All right. So that's kind of how I would do just my simple blooms with no like additives. For the Shelley bloom technique, you put a lot of different, or you use Australian Floetrol. I just have the US Floetrol. But it's still great. It does beautifully. So that's also by having your paint thinned down so you can really blow it around. And the base, the colors, they were all mixed the same. They all have the same. Well, the light blue did not have silicone. The colors had silicone. The colors on top had silicone. Oh, okay, on the Melly D channel. Okay. Yeah, you could add a little bit more to kind of layer it up. I've done that before, adding more paint to the center, and you kind of layer it up. On a larger canvas, it would definitely on a larger canvas look a little bit better. Oh, the folk art, the 4-ounce bottles. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Glacial blue. Okay. Awesome. So here, it is kind of coming off the edge over here. No worries. What you can do right here, if it is coming off and you don't really want it to, sometimes I just literally sweep that off here and put a little bit of blue there and literally push it back. You can kind of do that. Thank you. Yes, I love that plum, that Craft Smart plum with that cadmium yellow. Oh, it kind of blends together, makes a beautiful. Thank you. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and set this one aside. Set that one aside. We're going to do now, what should we do now? Yeah, petal hanging over the side or two is fine. I like it when it kind of spreads out, and it is kind of continuing to spread out a little bit. And I'm not all that worried about it. That's all right if it spreads out. So I'm thinking I'm going to do another one of those black ones. But we're going to go ahead and do one more of the, actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a comparison side by side of a black background and a white background of the same colors. Then we're going to do a gray background, and then we're going to get the hairdryer out. We're going to get the hairdryer out in just a minute. I've done lots of videos of Dutch pours with the hairdryer, and I've done Dutch pours with the hairdryer. My hairdryer has different setting, cool setting and heat setting. I know some don't all have a cool and a hot setting. Now, I did a video where I compared the cool setting and the hot setting. There really wasn't all that big of a difference. But we can do that again today. We can do one with cool setting and one with the hot setting. And some hair dryers don't have that. But I'll show you what I mean here in just a moment when we get the hair dryer out. But we're going to do right now another blown pour, but we're going to compare. We're going to do a white background and or you know what we should do? Okay, we're just going to do you guys want to see a comparison? Oh, thank you. Thank you. My bloom is adorable. Thank you. So we can compare. I was going to say a white background and a black background with the same colors, but I kind of wanted to do some split. You also don't have to do one color. You can, I already did black on the whole thing, but then thought of it. But what I'd like to have done is split two different colors. So the next one we can do two different colors. So just a second. There we go. We got white. We got black. Now we can do white. And then we can compare them. And then we can do the next one a split color. Next one, maybe we'll do some gray background split color. That would be pretty. So what has everybody been up to? We're getting ready to move some of our seedlings outside, our zucchini, and we have a couple of different varieties of zucchini, and then we have a couple of different varieties of cucumber. My very, very, very favorite vegetable is the lemon cucumber. Have you guys ever had the lemon cucumbers? They're the little round, kind of more yellower ones, cucumbers. Well, we've started a bunch of seedlings of cucumbers and zucchinis, and now they're to the point where it's time to take them outside and put them in the ground. We've had some very warm weather here for our area. So, all right, we are going to do the same colors, okay? So we have Deco Arts Vivid Violet. We can do, you can go just straight across. You can go at a diagonal. You can do a couple of different, you know, but we're just going to kind of go at a diagonal. Kind of that kind of and we're going to just match that and match the colors and everything on both pours as best we can. We matched it somewhat. So, all right. So we've got that vivid violet, and then we're going to put this bright magenta. And we're going to compare the black and the white background. So now we'll put down some blues. You love the lemon ones? Yes, I absolutely love the lemon cucumbers. They are so good. And so last year we couldn't find lemon cucumber seeds. So thankfully this year we found some. So we started those not too long ago. I'd say a week and a half ago. They grew quick. And with it so warm outside, it's time and we can go ahead and put them outside. So, all right, that was cobalt blue. Now we got some turquoise. Just a little bit, not too much, because we have an 8 by 10 inch canvas. It really does not need that much. So I am going to go ahead and get a little bit of the black and the white out and put it on either side, and we're going to blow that up over it. So that's what we would call a true Dutch pour, when we blow our base color up over the, and you can just do a puddle in the middle. You don't have to do a lot. Well, I almost, oops, I put a drop. That's okay. Here, I'm getting all crazy with it and getting drops everywhere. That's all right. I almost poured white on the black one. Let's get the black out and pour the right one. And you're just pouring a little ribbon on each side, and then you're going to gently blow that up over. My base color does not have silicone, but the other colors do have silicone. So, all right. Now we're going to go ahead and use the mini leaf blower again, because these are only 8 by 10 inch. Next, we're going to move to a little bit bigger canvases. And at that point, we're going to get the hair dryer out. The hair dryer is better for the bigger canvases. Something like this is better for the smaller canvases. Yeah, they're good for you and low carbs. They have so much fluid in them, good for hydration. Cucumbers are literally my favorite scent in the whole wide world. I love the smell of cucumbers. You had snow yesterday. Yeah, you have to wait to plant. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. It might be somewhat loud, not too loud. I'm going to gently blow the white as best I can up over the color. I'm going to do that from both sides. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and blow that one out. We'll get to this one in just a minute. Honestly, for these little tiny canvases, it's hard to do a Dutch pour. A Dutch pour is so much easier to do on a large canvas because you want more negative space, honestly. So we're going to get to those large canvases in just a minute, and you're going to see the difference. But look at this nice, feathery, kind of subtle look, and you get that lacing over the top. So, all right, now we're going to see how the colors are going to pop on this black. you're going to see the difference of the same exact colors on the black background. All right, I love it so much more on the black background. So pretty. So now we'll go ahead and torch it a little bit. Now we're not like burning the paint. We're not getting it right down in there. Just giving it, popping those bubbles mainly, and bringing that silicone up to the surface. And when you bring that silicone up to the surface, you get more of the cells. But already the blowing effect gave that cells already. So you didn't have to have a torch, but it helps with bubbles. And really with like a blown technique, you're getting more and more bubbles. So look at the difference, such a difference. Hey, JW, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. JW, he has a coin channel, JW's Coins and Hobbies. He's a friend of my husband, Mike the Greek. So, yeah, I mean, you get this nice subtle, Monica says she's liking the white one, the lightness, and that's by blowing that white kind of over the top. But also the cells are still popping up. They're still doing their thing, coming up through that white, through that black. But so that's kind of the difference between the two backgrounds. So there's so many, like I've done for each of these Wednesdays, we've done a different technique each Wednesday, and just subtle little differences can make a big difference. Subtle changes in the technique, subtle changes in the color, the background, all kinds of little things you can do to change up techniques to really get a difference. So what we have is a lot of lacing, and the lacing is just the subtle over the top. The black one is sneaking up on me. Oh, did you get some coin auction purchases? All right, awesome. Yeah, totally different results, totally different look. Isn't that awesome? So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and set these ones aside, and then we're going to grab out and get a little bit larger ones. Set that one aside. Making a mess today. All right, we're going to do a split background. That black is so messy. It always gets everywhere. So, all right, what we're going to do here is we're going to do half the background in white and half the background in gray. Or should we do white and gray or black and gray? Maybe we should do white and gray. I think this one. So, all right. Push those ones over a tiny bit. So, all right. So what I mean by split background, we're going to do, you wanted to see like a plum. Whoa. All right. Just a second. Let me get. A plum base over greens. Okay, we could I actually am gonna do kind of some greens here in a minute with some plums, a larger one, a 16 by 20. So we'll do something like that in just a moment, some plums and greens. This one, this is a 12 by 12 inch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do half the canvas white. This is going to be a blown pour, not a Dutch pour. And we discussed kind of the difference in that here a minute ago. But yeah, we can definitely do some plums and some greens on this, the very last one. So we've got this one other, and then so we got 3 more total. This one and 2 others. So the very last one, the 16 by 20, was kind of already kind of planning. So great choices. That was already, I've got some kind of teals and some greens that I'm going to do that last one. So I'm just spreading this out kind of even. The Floetrol that you mix your paint with is what really helps level your paint. It's a self-leveling. It really helps. So now we're going to do what would be like a split background. We're going to do black and part of it. So we are making a mess today. So much fun though. Bringing that black right up to our white. This paint is quite a bit thinner. Dutch pour is probably the technique you need your paint the thinnest. I want to do some gray background in just a moment as well. Grays are very popular in the home decor. What colors do you, I'm just curious, what colors do you all have your house painted? Like your decor, your inside of your house. What colors are your guys' decor? So our house is very kind of blues, and like the room I'm standing in right now, what used to be our dining room, the walls are actually like a super soft lemon yellow. And then the rest of the house is like our hallway is kind of a teal color. Our house is very kind of beach tones, turquoises, blues, teals. I'm just curious, what color are your guys' decor, your inside of your house? What kind of colors are people going for these days? So that was Cheap Paints Turquoise. It does have silicone. I'm just going ahead and getting a little bit on the end. Ooh, did you see that chunk? Here, just a second. I got to get that. Did you see that? You definitely don't want no chunks. And I strained a lot of this paint before we started today. So how are we getting chunks? Okay. I'm going to set the pink aside. Your walls are covered in flags. All right, awesome. Awesome. Woods and natural. Awesome. That's good. That's probably my dad. That kind of my dad has his house. It's mainly woods and natural and a lot of flags and we used to probably have a lot more wood and natural colors. Our walls were a lot more, a lot of our decor was a little bit more the neutral colors, some beautiful neutrals. But we kind of the last few years have been changing it up and not so much the neutrals and have been kind of switching it to the a little bit more on the side of the beachy kind of blue tones. So yeah, our house actually, now that I think about it, used to be quite a bit more on that kind of tones, wood, natural. Yes, happy to have a house painter, definitely. So, all right, we just put a little bit of bluegrass green. We're going to put a little bit of this lilac. So, and then we're going to go ahead and blow that out. We are going to use, I think we're going to go ahead and just blow it with the aquarium tubing. You can kind of control it a little bit more at that point. Oh, the 90s color kitchens where everything was the same color. Yeah, our appliances are kind of a variety of colors. We've got a black stove and then everything else, I guess, is white appliances. But ours don't really match at all. But we just kind of, what we got is what we got. Gray walls. Gray walls are so popular right now. That's what kind of made me think of this. The next one we're going to do is with a gray background because gray is so popular right now. All right, now I am going to go ahead and give that a little bit of a torch. But notice when I was blowing it out, I was kind of purposely going on each side and grabbing up a little bit of that white and blowing it over, grabbing up a little bit of that black and blowing it over. Not really grabbing it up. What I mean by is blowing on this side to blow some of it up and over. That's what I kind of mean by grabbing it up. Just with the air, which is by blowing it over. So we did get a random kind of turquoise dot there. We'll go ahead and take care of that. So there is with a split color background. You don't have to have just one color background. You don't have to go with black, white. You can go with any color you want to background. Now with the Dutch pour, your color choices are a little bit with each technique. So like if you do a flip cup, you do a Dutch pour, those colors are going to mix a little bit more than say if you do a dirty pour. Some of the other techniques, they're not going to mix up muddy so much. But a Dutch pour, because the paints are a lot more thinner and you're blowing them, you really want to think about those colors and they are going to mix a little bit. So I have purposely chosen colors today that, hey, if they mix a little bit, they're just going to create another shade of kind of purpley, pinky. No big deal if they mix a little. I have purposely not chosen to use like orange and purple on the same one, which you can. I'm going to show you here in just a moment how I will use contrasting colors on the same one, but I'm going to put them I'm not going to put them right next to each other. They'll blow out at different spots of the canvas. And that's how you can kind of sneak in those contrasting colors and not muddy them up. Barn red and French vanilla living room. Oh, yeah. Pale silver gray, tiny wall black. Oh, yeah, that does sound very pretty. Classic with the red and the vanilla. Awesome. So pretty. So, all right, we're going to get this one set aside. We're almost going to run out of room here in a minute. So we got two more. We've got this next one. We're going to do some grays. Oh, here. I know. Here, just a second. I'm going to hand this one off to Mike. So, all right. There's our split background. We're going to hand that one off to Mike. Thank you so much. And you always want to now, at this point, make sure you are level so it doesn't slide off. We've got another 12 by 12 inch canvas. This is our second to our last. So this one we're going to do with some gray background. Gray is super popular with home decor right now. Lots of people request to have the gray walls. I think that Sherwin-Williams right now, the #1 color is like a gray, a timeless gray. And that's been for quite some time. That gray was very popular. A lot of blues are very popular for home decor right now. Blues always do great with paint pours. Honestly, if you're a beginner trying out a new technique, you can never go wrong with blues. I cannot think of a technique that doesn't really, honestly, blues just, because they, you know, if blues mix up a little, well, you just have another shade of blue in your color, in your painting. No worries. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just, that palette knife was taking forever. It's kind of a bent one. So we're going to go ahead and just, the paint is thin enough today. We can just, then we can kind of see that we have a goober. That's what I call them, little paint goober. I could see when it was rolling around, there was, all right, just making sure we get it all the way to the edge. Oh, no worries, Monica. Yeah, definitely. I think you're at work probably right now. You love the split color one? Yeah, those are always fun. It's kind of cool to see the different colors. And you don't have to do black and white. I've seen some beautiful split colors in all different color combinations. You can do any color combination with the Dutch pour or the background. You don't have to have it. Here's a gray one. So, yeah. Oh, with the rusted tin on the inside. Oh, so pretty. Black cabinets, hardwood floors. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Beautiful. So, all right. So this one, what we're going to do for this one is we're going to get some teal. We're going to get a little bit of orange in here. And I'm going to show that, yes, you can do a Dutch pour with like totally contrasting colors that you would think would just muddy up. But I'm going to put them kind of just a little bit of that orange and kind of be careful when I blow it out. Oh, we got to get out the hairdryer, actually. I don't want to lose. Okay, you know what? We're not going to put any orange in this one. I'm trying to think of how many more I can do, how many more I can fit on this table, because I want to show you with a hairdryer. Maybe we should, well, we can put some orange in there. We'll put a little. So that was a little bit of that China blue, a little bit of that Tuscan teal, just a little bit of black. Black will take over. So now we're going to put, so we've got some real bright orange. We're literally going to just put a little bit, a couple of different places, okay? Because it'll take over as well. So now we have our hairdryer. So I use the Conair 1875. That's what works for me. I am going to go ahead because it's a smaller canvas. We're going to first turn it on. Let me see. Okay. So we're going to first turn on low. Sorry for your ears if that's loud. So if you have headphones on, I'm going to do this with my hairdryer. So it might get loud here in just a moment. So I have done a video. So mine has where you push this in and it gets for cool or for hot. In my video, in my experiments I did, the cool or the hot setting didn't really make a difference. They did the same. It did not do a difference. So I'm not even going to worry about pushing it. So we're technically going to be on the hot setting. Some of you guys does have this button, some of you don't. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to just go in and just kind of slightly, just a little bit, kind of this angle. Straight down, straight back, kind of down. So notice what I've done before is I've kind of feathered, you know, if I feather it in there, my orange is going to mix way in there and stuff. So I'm going to try to not get my orange to mix by just being intentional with my things. If I go slow and start to kind of falter a little bit, that's when you're going to get mixing up. So if you just quickly and just get in there and just zoom, 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 it's going to be much better look. So you're going to see how I'm just going to go at it. So, all right, now, anybody with, thank you. The split pour was beautiful. Thank you. Okay, if you got headphones, I'm not sure, Monica, if you have headphones on right now at work, you might want to turn it down, turning on the hairdryer. Okay. That was on low. Low didn't move the paint at all. We're turning it on high. All right, so that is what hair with the hair dryer. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go in just one more. I'm going to go in once right here and once right here, okay? Because I really got this to move, this not so much. I think I need to. So warning again for the hair dryer, so the noise, just one more time. All right, so you need super thin paint. Does not want to move on me too much, but we did get it to move a little bit. I am going to go ahead and blow out just with a little bit more detail there. But we got fun little kind of pops of orange in there. So, oh, okay, you're still working from home. All right. Yeah, we're Mike's not working yet either. Just because with everything going on with me health-wise, I cannot get this. So, and I can't get the vaccine yet either. But because I'm not even healthy enough to get the vaccine right now. So. Oh, the mic kind of canceled it out. Okay, automatically. All right, good to know. Okay. So, all right, so that's with a gray background. And so that is with the hair dryer. So you definitely need your paints quite a bit thinner to get that to move across. So I am going to go ahead and get that one moved. So, all right. And with a Dutch pour, there's really no need to tilt it. You mainly are moving the paint. Instead of moving the paint, when I moved it here, I just got the edge. Just a second. Let me touch up that gray paint. I kind of smudged it a bit. All right. So move that one over. But when you're with other pours, you're moving that paint around by tilting it. With a Dutch pour, there is no need to really tilt it. You've moved all that paint with whatever you're blowing it with. So let me, okay, guys, I am going to lift the camera a little bit. So it might, watch your eyes. I don't want to make you seasick, but I'm going to just lift just a little bit to get this all. This is a little bit larger. It's a 16 by 20 inch canvas. And yes, I've gotten it all muddied up. So, all right, I am going to trying to see how much of this do we have? Should we do like literally the whole background plum? You know what we'll do? We'll do a split canvas with plum and blue. What do you think of that? Let's do. So half the canvas is going to be this plum color, and then half the canvas is going to be like a blue color. We'll figure out which blue we have the most of. maybe that teal color. So it's kind of slow to come out, so just a minute. So this is Craft Smart's Plum. You're fully vaccinated, as are your parents. That is awesome, Monica. Yeah, I have cellulitis in my ear right now. It's the craziest thing. I thought I had an earache, so I went to the urgent care and they said, "Oh no, you don't have an earache or ear infection. You have cellulitis." I have it like in my ear, down my neck. So that's what I have going on right now. So I'm on some antibiotics. And so they say that they do suggest not getting the vaccine if you're on antibiotics. So I think that I'll be clear to get it after these antibiotics are over. That's what I'm hoping for. But that's awesome, Monica. Mike actually goes and gets his first one tomorrow. Color combination is super cool. Yes. Oh, you like the orange. The orange was a perfect addition, Novella says. That's awesome. Thank you. You pray I'm stronger, said me too. Thank you. Yeah, it's been crazy. But hopefully the antibiotics are doing their duties and doing what they need to do. Now, okay, so as you can see, I'm not sure if you guys can pick this up on the camera. Normally, you probably don't want your background color, this background color, to have silicone. You can kind of see where it's not wanting to. There's a couple little spots you can kind of see. So I usually try to not have, but we are just going on a color combination on whim, but we can make it work. So all you got to do is you just got to kind of make sure that you get the little bit, take a moment to make sure if it's pulling away from any. With having silicone in that base color, you might need to add just a little bit more in a couple spots. So you can kind of, I'm not sure if it picks it up on camera where you can see there's silicone in the base, but I can kind of see. You just kind of got to give it a little bit of extra, a little bit, a couple spots. See how it's really trying right here where that silicone. Just another little bit over there. Okay, so the next color, let's go ahead. We're going to put some, let me see how much I have. This Tuscan Teal. Oh, okay, so you had to wait for your second dose. You got your second dose yesterday, Janice, and you had to wait 5 days after the antibiotics. Okay, good to know. Oh, yes, Mike has dealt with diverticulitis. He knows all about that. Yes. Oh, no fun, Monica. I am so sorry you were dealing with that. Yes, that is definitely no fun at all. So, okay, we've got some teal, and we're going to get some more greens and some more. So that was Craft Smart Plum, and then also Tuscan Teal. And I think we have a little bit more of this color in a cup. So no worries if we're running out here, but we'll see how much that covers. So this is a large 16 by 20 canvas. So but my parents, they are also fully vaccinated. So that is awesome. Makes me feel a little bit better about them being fully vaccinated. They all four of them, because I have step parents as well. So, and I will, after the live stream, make sure that I got all the edges. Can't quite see the back side of this one. It's so large until after the live stream. Just bringing that paint right up to the center, making sure I get right down over the edge, the corner. Then we'll get some color down and blow that out. This is my last one for today. So if anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask. So Yes, so glad you're feeling better. Oh, the dreaded, yeah, Mike had to do that as well. Thankfully, it all came back in the clear. So that's what I am hoping for you, Monica. I am hoping when they go in there and check everything, that everything is A-okay. Or you get any answers you're looking for, or anything like that. So, okay, that was Cascade. This is the gray. So this gray is just my black and my white that I've gone ahead and just mixed up myself. It's a blast. Yeah, it's a blast, all right. No, Mike did pretty well. He didn't no sort of issues or anything with it, so thankfully. But yeah, that's no fun. So we are going to see how, okay, you can definitely see this color has silicone. We're going to go ahead and just put a little bit of, and it's really on the edges. You got to be careful. It's wanting to pull away because that background color has silicone. So normally you don't really want your background color to have too much silicone, but no worries. So we are going to go ahead and put that same color a little bit into that. And we are going to put, let's find another green. Oh, this beautiful green. This is that phthalo turquoise from Master's Touch. So there we have our plum and we have our green and our teals, a little bit of gray, a little bit of that light china blue. And this is our last one. Yeah, the little happy juice. Yeah, the mammogram. I have to do that soon. I've actually never had one. I'm 41, so I'm supposed to be having that soon. Yeah, a little blast. So, all right, we're going to do this just the same as we did the last few. We're going to use this blower. We're just going to go in and just blow back and forth, just the same as we've been doing it. All right, so there we go. That's the with the split color. I am going to come in. So here where you can see it blew out these kind of strings. Sometimes that's why I like to come in with our aquarium tubing and kind of blend those in. Kind of looks funny, but because that's just because I blew too much paint too quickly at once and it just kind of flung it over. No big deal. Just come in, and that's why I like to bring in and do some of this detail. Blow some of those out, make them look a little bit more natural. And we do have a little bit of where we had silicone in our base there. So now with the silicone in the base, you're going to want to come back the next like half hour or so and just double check that it hasn't pulled away on the edges here. You can kind of see where it's speckled. That's the silicone not really wanting to, it doesn't work well with the raw canvas or the gessoed canvas. But you can catch that and just fix those spots, no big deal. So thank you guys. Yeah, that little blower is super strong. That's the world's smallest leaf blower, and it's USB. It just plugs into a little USB block, and it just has a little on and off. That's all it has. But it's pretty strong. I really like it. But also the key with the blown pores or the Dutch pores, the key to really get it to blow is to have your paint really, really thin. You want it quite a bit thinner than what you normally would have. So like for normally your pores, I don't put much water at all. I put about 1/4 of a cup into these cups. It really just super thin. So we did a whole variety of blown pores, Dutch pores today. A little bit longer of a live stream, but that's okay. How many did we do? We did 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can count to 10 today. So we did 10 pores in this one. Yeah, the nausea and the drink. That's kind of Mike's. The drink, the prep work is definitely the harder part, for sure. But as soon as you get done with that, hopefully you'll get some answers on how to make sure everything's good to go and nothing. Did I count 1, 2, 5, 9, 10? Well, it was 10. I think we did 10 pours today. Thank you guys. Thank you. You like this one? I love how it turned out on some of the black backgrounds. On some of the black backgrounds, it really pops. On some of these split color backgrounds, they look super fun. You can do it in all different ways. You can use your hair dryer, your blower. I absolutely adore. One of my favorite tools for pouring of all different types is my aquarium tubing. If you can tell, I use it in almost every paint pour, blowing out the edges, doing some detail work. So yeah, this guy will be your friend. Or you can use a straw. I like this guy because you have a little bit more control. It bends. You can get it to exactly where you want it. And that's why I choose the aquarium tubing. And you can use it over and over and over and over again. So, yeah. Oh, okay. You sent Mike some pictures of your brother's house. All right. We'll have to check that out. Yeah, they definitely continue to evolve over the next couple hours. Silicone, and it's all about the silicone working its way up through the different densities of paints. Each color, each brand has kind of a different density. So you put that silicone in it, and that silicone will work its way up through the different colors and different densities of paint. And so that's kind of where you get the evolving and the evolution kind of is that silicone still popping up, working its way through. And when you torch it, that just kind of is helping that process along. That's just kind of popping those bubbles and moving that silicone up to the surface. That's what that's doing. So, all right, Monica, thank you so much for stopping by. Yes, it's awesome. I'm so glad to have you in chat. It's been a little while, so it's awesome to chat with you. It's awesome to chat with all you guys. Oh, Mr. Doughboy, you're still here as well. Awesome. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. It was a little bit longer of a live stream, but that's okay. We did a lot of paintings, a lot of variety, all the way from 6 by 6 inches, 8 by 10s, 10 by 10s, 12 by 12s, 16 by 20. So we did a variety of sizes of canvases. And so next week will be string pull. So I'll show you string pull flowers, string pull feathers, just kind of string pull spirals, chain pulls. Also doing a string pull on a dried canvas. I have a couple videos on that, but I'll do string pulls on dried canvases as well. So that's kind of a trick I do. So yeah, next week will be all about the string pull, chain pull, thread pull, So that's just pulling string and thread through the surface of the paint. And I'll show you a bunch of different tips and tricks on that. Oh, Mr. Doughboy's wanting Mad Libs again. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. We used to do Mad Libs at night, a Mad Libs live stream. So, all right. Thank you so much. And I am hoping to feel just so much better by next week. So thank you, mic pool. I don't know if I could, my table's not big enough for a mic pool. So, all right. I'm looking forward to it as well, Janice. So thank you so much. It's banned in this country. So, all right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I do appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are all so awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for chatting, hanging out with me. You guys are so awesome. Yeah, all right. You guys take care and have an awesome rest of your day. And be the change you want to see in the world, guys. Be the change you want to see in the world. All right, guys. Have a good one. And thank you so much.